Welcome back to my channel. I am back with another Love and Hip Hop Atlanta review, so let's just get right into it because a lot happened in this episode. So Erica Banks and her fiance Dro end up going to support Queen Key at her show, and Queen Key did not seem too happy about the fact that Erica brought her fiance. She even made a little comment to Erica about how everybody needed to be single who showed up to the event, and I know that she was just joking around. You can tell that she was joking about it, but it seemed like there was something going on between the two of them because I don't really understand why Queen Key would care if, Erica's fiance was there. Maybe it's because she didn't tell her that she was bringing somebody. But the energy between the two of them just made it seem like something was going on. And apparently Erica Banks' fiance felt the same way because Dro and Erica end up meeting up to have a conversation after Queen Key's show, and Dro tells Erica Banks that she felt like Queen Key's energy towards her was kind of weird, as if she felt some type of way about her being there because she just wanted to be with Erica by herself. So Dro ended up asking Erica if there was something going on between her and Queen Key, and Erica said that there was nothing going on between them. She did say that Queen Key DM'd her years before this trying to get something started between the two of them, but it never actually went anywhere. And so I don't feel like Dro has anything to worry about. I don't feel like she has anything to be jealous about. I can understand why she kind of felt some type of way because of the way that Queen Key was acting towards her, but if nothing happened between Queen Key and Erica, I don't think there's anything for her to be worried about. So Bambi and Yandy end up meeting up with each other to catch up a little bit, and Bambi ends up telling Yandy about how she met up with Britney because Britney wanted to know if there was something going on between her and Scrappy. And we know that the only reason why Britney did that is because when she finally met Shakira was blurting out that Scrappy is obsessed with Bambi and everything he does is to get Bambi's attention. So obviously that made Britney feel some type of way. So she went directly to the source and asked Bambi herself. And Bambi was honest. She did say that Scrappy told her that he wanted to know if she would be willing to get back together. That's something that she told to Britney. And I saw people saying that Bambi was wrong for even telling Britney what Scrappy was saying to her, but I don't think that Bambi did anything wrong by telling Britney the truth. If Scrappy is in her messages telling her that he wants to get back together, why can't she be honest with Britney if Britney comes to her? I mean, it's not like Bambi was the one who put this information out there. Shakira is the one that put the bug in Britney's ear about Scrappy and Bambi, so that's the reason why she went to Bambi. Scrappy's the one who shouldn't be in Bambi's messages asking her anything about getting back together when he's in a relationship with Britney. But during this conversation, Bambi ends up telling Yandy that she did tell Scrappy that she would be willing to go to family therapy with him so that they can co-parent better. And when Yandy asked her if she would be willing to go to family therapy with Scrappy so that eventually they can get back together, Bambi was talking in circles. I feel like she does still obviously have some type of feelings for Scrappy, just like it's very clear that he still has some type of feelings for her. That doesn't necessarily mean that she'd be willing to get back together with him though, because of the way that things went when they did get married. So obviously I'm not in Bambi's head, but I do feel like there is a part of her that does want to be with Scrappy, but the part of her that knows how things went when things fell apart between the two of them is what keeps her from getting back together with him, especially because he's continuing the same patterns ever since they got divorced. I mean, look at what happened. He got Shakira pregnant, then he left her and he started being with Britney, but then he was still sleeping with Shakira while he was with Britney, and now he's in her phone trying to get back together with her while he's with Britney. So I don't think that she wants to be involved in that type of cycle again. But during this conversation, Yandy ends up telling Bambi what happened when Mendes took her on this very awkward date in last week's episode. He was telling Yandy that he wanted to work on their friendship because he feels like they lost that in their relationship. And although I understand what he was trying to say, because it is true that if you lose the friendship in a relationship, it's hard to kind of come back to that. And so it does make the relationship difficult to stay in. But I don't feel like he's really trying to get a friendship back with Yandy, because according to Yandy, he's been waking up in her bed every other night trying to get things started intimately. So it doesn't really seem like he wants to be her friend. She feels like Mendes is playing games with her for the cameras, and I said the same thing in my review for last week's episode. In fact, on the thumbnail I made, I put Mendes is playing games because to me, that's exactly what he's doing. It seems like he's trying to put out there on the cameras that he's just trying to work on a friendship with her, but then behind the scenes, he's trying to lay in bed with her and get intimate. So that doesn't feel like he's trying to be her friend to me. She feels like he's trying to do this in front of the camera so that whoever he's talking to on the side sees that he's actually just trying to be friends with Yandy, but then behind closed doors, he's trying to be more than just friends. So she feels some type of way about that, and I feel like she has a right to. So Bambi, Ashley, and Britney all end up showing up to the same fashion show. I think it was Sierra's or somebody else, but Sierra was definitely a part of planning it. And I think Ashley ended up asking Britney where Scrappy was because he was supposed to come, and she said that she didn't know where Scrappy was, but apparently Bambi did, because Bambi tells Britney that Scrappy didn't want to come because Erica did Dixon and Bocce are coming together. And you can tell that that kind of made Britney feel some type of way because obviously there's some tension between her and Erica Dixon. So she feels like it was calculated for Erica Dixon to show up with Bocce. Bocce is Britney's ex, and obviously we know that Erica Dixon is Scrappy's ex, so the two of them showing up together is definitely awkward. And during this conversation, Bambi does end up asking Britney if her and Bocce still talk because Bocce has been going around telling people, I mean, he told Erica Dixon and a few other people a few episodes back that him and Britney still talk to each other, but according to Britney in this conversation with Bambi, she says that she hasn't talked to him. So I don't really know who to believe because Bocce can just be being messy just because he's upset at the fact that his ex is dating Scrappy, and Scrappy is somebody that he was cool with at some point. And the crazy thing about it is Erica Dixon does end up showing up with Bocce, and this had Sierra side-eyeing them because it is kind of awkward to see Scrappy's ex and Britney's ex show up to an event together. But Erica got in her confessional and she claims that her and Bocce are just hanging out casually and that there's nothing going on between the two of them. But then why show up to this event together that they knew that Scrappy and Britney were going to be at? That's just messy to me. But we know that production set that up because they have to have drama for the show. So Sierra ends up sitting down to have a conversation with Erica Dixon and Bocce, and she ends up asking Bocce if him and Scrappy were actually cool with each other, and he says that him and Scrappy were cool, and that's why when he heard that Scrappy was going around with Britney, he ended up asking Scrappy if there was something going on between him and Britney, and Scrappy told him no. And that's why I'm wondering if he's actually making up the fact that him and Britney still talk to each other and there's something going on, or is he just doing that because he wants to get back at Scrappy for dating his ex? I'm not really sure, but I'm kind of looking at Bocce a little bit sideways. But while they're having this conversation, Scrappy actually does end up showing up, and him and Britney walk up to Sierra, Bocce, and Erica Dixon, and things were more awkward between Erica Dixon and Britney than it was between Scrappy and Bocce, which was a little bit weird to me because why would Erica Dixon have an issue with Britney? It just doesn't make any sense to me. And Sierra ended up asking Erica Dixon and Britney if they've met each other before, and they said yes, but they said it in a very awkward way, and Britney said that it was brief, and that's when Erica Dixon said it went the way it was gonna go. And so you can tell that Erica Dixon does not like Britney. I really don't understand why. She seems to be the only one of his baby mamas that has an issue with Britney, and I don't know what it stems from because her and Scrappy haven't been together for a really long time. I'm wondering if Bocce probably told Erica Dixon some things about Britney and that's why she's acting that way towards her, but I really don't know. But Britney got in her confessional and she said that the times that she has met Erica Dixon, Erica was very nasty to her and she doesn't get it. But it could be because of Scrappy, because we know that Scrappy bounces back and forth between all of his exes. That's just what he does. But at this same event, Bambi ends up talking to Bocce, and she ends up asking him if he's still dealing with Britney in some type of way, because obviously he told a few people at an event a few episodes back that him and Britney do still talk and have something going on. So obviously she heard that from somebody, and that's why she's asking him. I personally don't think that Bambi should have involved herself. I don't think she should have asked at all because I don't think that she should care. But if Bocce's going to be on the show and this is his storyline, obviously he's going to go around telling everybody who knows Scrappy that there's something going on still between him and Britney. Now, he didn't directly answer Bambi's question. He kind of skated around it. But even in the way that he skated around answering Bambi's question, the way that he did it implied that there still is something going on between him and Britney. We don't know if he's telling the truth, though. Erica Banks ends up going to meet with Queen Key, and she basically immediately tells Queen Key that Dro feels like she wants her because of the fact that she was acting some type of way when she showed up to her show. So Dro ends up coming into the room, and Queen Key immediately tells Dro that she's not interested in getting with Erica Banks, but Dro does end up mentioning the messages that Queen Key sent to Erica, and she said that those were from 5 years ago. So I don't think that Dro needs to be worried about any DM that was sent to Erica 5 years ago. That's completely irrelevant. And so they were able to work everything out, and Dro did tell Queen Key that if anything was to happen between her and Erica Banks, that she was going to be a part of it, which is probably what she wanted the whole time. Now, Bambi ends up pulling up on Scrappy while he's at the studio so they can have a conversation, and they start talking about Erica Dixon and Bocce showing up to the fashion show together. And Scrappy basically said that he didn't care about it, that it didn't bother him at all because him and Erica Dixon haven't been together for a long time. And I'm not gonna lie, it did make me cringe a little bit seeing Erica Dixon and Bocce show up together, because if they were trying to shake Scrappy in that situation, because it seems like Bocce's trying to get back at Scrappy by showing up to something with with Erica Dixon, it didn't really work because Scrappy didn't seem to care. And Scrappy tells Bambi that he doesn't even know what Bocce's issue is with him because they didn't have a friendship, they had a working relationship. And Scrappy claims that when he first met Britney, she wasn't even in a relationship with Bocce, she was dating somebody else. And I get what Scrappy's saying. I don't think that Bocce should really care that much either, especially if they weren't exactly friends. But Scrappy was wrong for lying to Bocce, because if Bocce pulled him aside and ended up asking him if something was going on between him and Britney, Scrappy shouldn't have lied. He should have been honest. Now, during this conversation, Scrappy ends up bringing up the conversation that Bambi had with Britney a couple of episodes back, and he ends up asking her what they talked about, and Bambi tells him that Britney just wanted to know if there was anything going on between her and Scrappy, and he asked her what she told Britney, and Bambi said that she told Britney the truth, that Scrappy did ask her if she would be willing to get back together. And Scrappy confirmed in this conversation with Bambi that he did send that message to Bambi, so he's not even denying it, and he didn't even seem mad at the fact that Bambi told Britney this, so to me it didn't really seem like he cared about the relationship with Britney anyway. Scrappy ends up circling back to Bocce and Britney again and says that he doesn't know what they even talk about, if they still talk, and that's when Bambi lets him know that when they were at the fashion show, Bocce basically skirted around whether or not him and Britney still have something going on. He didn't say yes, he didn't say no, but he was kind of implying that there was something there. And look, I don't think that Bambi should have told Scrappy anything about what Bocce told her about him and Britney, because I feel like she should have just stayed out of it and sat pretty like she's been doing. But I don't agree with the people in the comment section saying that Bambi's trying to ruin Scrappy's relationship with Britney. Scrappy has been trying to ruin that relationship with Britney because obviously Shakira said that he's been sleeping with her while he was with Britney, and Bambi's not even the one that inserted herself into Britney and Scrappy's relationship. Shakira brought Britney into Scrappy and Britney's relationship because she blurted out that Scrappy was obsessed with Bambi and that everything he does is to get Bambi's attention, and that's the reason why Britney started feeling some type of way and she decided to meet up with Bambi. So to say that Bambi just inserted herself into Scrappy and Britney's relationship because she wanted to ruin it because she wants Scrappy back, I don't agree with that. But do I think that Bambi should have went back and told Scrappy what Bocce was saying about him and Britney? No, I don't think that she should have. Now, Zayn and Ashley end up going to the tattoo shop because obviously Zayn has an issue with the fact that Ashley still has her ex's name tattooed on her, so he brought her to the tattoo shop so that she can get it covered up. The crazy thing about all this is that in last week's episode, Zayn tried to make Ashley look bad when he was talking to Mendes, because he told Mendes that when he's being intimate with Ashley, he can see that she has her ex-boyfriend's name tattooed on her. But come to find out, he has his ex-girlfriend Michelle's lips tattooed on his neck. So why isn't he getting the lips that he got tattooed on his neck of his ex-girlfriend covered up as well? And then he does something really messy, and I believe that he did it on purpose, but he got a tattoo, okay? And he ended up calling his ex-girlfriend Michelle's phone, and he's talking to her about his tattoo and showing it to her. Ashley can hear her laughing on the phone in the background, and so she comes into the room really pissed off, and she ends up asking Zayn who he was on the phone with because she heard Michelle's voice in the background. And he claims that the only reason why he called Michelle's phone is because he wanted to show his daughter his tattoo, and his daughter did not answer her phone, so he called Michelle instead. And yeah, he was talking to his daughter on the phone, but he was also talking to Michelle on the phone, and I believe that he did that on purpose, because if his daughter's old enough to have her own cell phone, if he called his daughter's cell phone and she didn't answer it, he could have called back, and if she didn't answer again, he could have sent her a text message telling her to call him. I don't think that he had to be on the phone with Michelle in that moment. I think he did it on purpose. But it's hard for me to feel bad for Ashley because she keeps herself in this situation. So at the very end of this episode, Scrappy ends up showing up to Britney's house to have a conversation because he says that they haven't really seen each other, nor have they talked since the fashion show. And Britney tells him that it's because she felt some type of way about Erica Dixon showing up with Bocce to the fashion show, knowing that she was going to be there. She felt like it was calculated and they did it on purpose. And honestly, I agree with Britney. I feel like Erica Dixon and Bocce showed up to that event on purpose because they knew that both Britney and Scrappy was going to be there and they were trying to cause some drama. Scrappy does end up asking Britney what she talked to Bambi about, which I don't understand why he ended up asking her that, because he already knows, because he just talked to Bambi about it. But Britney was honest, and she said that ever since Bambi ended her relationship with the last guy that she was with, Scrappy shifted and he started acting differently towards her, and so she noticed it. She claims that once Bambi became single again, Scrappy started pulling away from her. She tells Scrappy that Bambi told her that he was sending her inappropriate text messages about how he wanted to know if she would be willing to get back together with him. And at first, Scrappy lied and said that he never said that to Bambi, but then when Britney asked him again, because she could tell that he was lying, he said that he didn't really remember. And Britney ended up asking Scrappy if she can see the text thread between him and Bambi, and he would not show it to her because he said that he thought that Britney trusted him, but she said that she doesn't trust him, and I'm glad that she was honest about it because she doesn't have a reason to trust him. Especially not after what Shakira revealed that Scrappy was texting her while him and Britney were together. Now, Scrappy does try to deflect from what he's been doing, and he tries to turn it back around on Britney, asking her about what's going on between her and Bocce. She says that her and Bocce don't talk, they don't have any communication, there's nothing between them, but Scrappy feels like there is something going on because Bocce has been going around telling people that there is. That's why I'm kind of looking at Bocce sideways, because I honestly feel like he's trying to come between their relationship, because at the end of the day, he doesn't like that Scrappy's dealing with his ex. Because why is he just going around telling everybody that's connected to Scrappy that there's something going on between him and Britney rather than just having the conversation with Scrappy? She ends up asking Scrappy if he wants his family back, and he says no, but I don't really believe him. I think there is a part of him that wants to be with Bambi. I don't think that he liked that Bambi actually left him. I think that he thought that because he married her, she was going to stay in that relationship regardless of what he did, and she kind of flipped the script on him and she ended the relationship, and I don't feel like he's completely over that. The relationship with Scrappy and Britney has been doomed ever since they weren't able to even confirm the timeline of when they actually decided to get together, when Shakira came and shook things up, when she showed them text messages that Scrappy was sending her while he was in a relationship with Britney. But I don't really feel bad for Britney. As beautiful and as intelligent as she comes off to me, I don't really feel bad for her because she knew exactly who Scrappy was when she decided to get into a relationship with him. Every woman that gets with Scrappy knows exactly what they're getting themselves into. That's why I don't feel bad for Shakira either. And if Bambi or Erica Dixon gets back with Scrappy at some point and he does the same thing to them over again, I won't feel bad for them either because they knew exactly who he was. But Scrappy has to learn to take accountability because he does the same thing in every relationship that he gets into. It's the same cycle over and over again, and I don't understand why he's not learning from his past mistakes. But those are my thoughts on this week's episode of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video.